This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Encompass Health, North Shore Community College, Leo Inc., Brotherhood Credit Union, and Deolis Brothers Construction.
Good morning, Lynners, and all those joining us today. Summer may be coming to a close, but events continue to stream in. This week is dominated by headlines, ranging from grant recipients to news from the state. The Lowdown brought us back to a local focus with Lynn Main Streets and all the collaboration they are doing with small businesses to help them advance their marketing tactics. Here's the news for Friday, August 23rd, 2024. According to the Lynn Fire Department, a flash fire broke out at 626 Lynn Way, the old Garelick Farms building, after a worker for a private demo company cut a pipe. The worker was transferred to Mass General Brigham with minor burns and is expected to make a full recovery. The cause of the explosion is still under investigation, but it appears to have been from trapped gas, as stated by Fire Chief Dan Sullivan. The structural stability appears intact, but the building was evacuated as a precaution, and National Grid did a sweep to ensure that there were no gas leaks anywhere else in the building. For people who enjoy music, this is the video for you. Building Bridges Through Music held their end-of-camp concert, featuring the vast history of hip-hop. Ranging from 5 to 13-year-olds, all campers got their chance to shine in front of an energetic crowd, capped off by their organization's song from both campers and staff.
I'm going to make my introduction very short. I am so grateful again to each and every one of you that cared enough to come by and see what our kids from 5 years old to 13 years old can do. Not only do they do math, science, engineering, technology, but they also look at music and math as first cousins. You are going to experience the musical side of what they've learned in math, rhythms and beats. That is our theme. This is a bona fide band. And that is how we teach them to work together, do teamwork through music, through education, and education through music, not just learning music. It's education through music.
"23-year-old Christopher Tejeda of Lynn was sentenced to 1 year and a day in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release, with the first year in home confinement by the U.S. District Court for his participation in a North Shore drug trafficking organization. This decision was announced in a press release by the U.S. Department of Justice on August 16th. Tejeda pled guilty to 1 count of conspiring to distribute and to possession with intent to distribute controlled substances in February of this year. As part of the organization, he picked up, transported, and delivered controlled substances, as well as collected and delivered profits from drug sales. Back in 2022, 23 individuals were arrested and charged with conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute and distributing controlled substances after more than 74,000 counterfeit prescription pills containing narcotics were seized by the state police. The Lynn Opioid Working Group is now accepting applications for funding through a Notice of Funding Availability released this past Monday, the 16th. Through this NOFA, the City of Lynn is making up to $250,000 available for the strengthening and creation of resources available to organizations which serve those affected by substance use disorders. Applicants can apply either for one-time or recurring funds, with applications being accepted by the OWG on a rolling basis. Projects must present innovative or new ideas, which lead to sustainable and implementable solutions for combating the opioid crisis in Lynn. Applications will be evaluated on multiple criteria, including alignment to abatement solutions, project goals, community collaborations, anticipated measurable outcomes, timeline, and budget. The NOFA is available to both nonprofits and for-profit organizations serving those affected by substance use disorders. Applications are available on the City of Lynn's website. Beyond Walls has been creating murals in this city for 8 years now, and they recently unveiled 5 more scattered around Lynn. One such mural now decorates the back wall of Bentwater Brewery, and LCTV was on scene for the reveal on the 15th, where we got the opportunity to speak with the artist. Here is more.
We've worked on and off with Al and Beyond Walls over the years. Ruben and Beyond Walls actually did our grain silo outside a couple years ago. And so when we were looking to kind of spice up the tap room and make it unique, we already knew we wanted to work with Beyond Walls and bring Ruben back up and really just kind of let him do his artistry for what he wanted to do. So he got the collaboration kind of was just us providing him with a lot of visuals that we use, explaining why those are important to us, and then just let him kind of vision board from there and make it his own. So.
The piece I made here for the Bentwater Brewing Company in Lynn is a gorilla. A gorilla is one of the animals that I paint a lot because I use it as a way to speak about the street art movement that is taking all over the world. It seems to be strong, fierce, hardcore, wild, and savage, but in reality, it's well thought out, just like the gorillas. It's family friendly. It's the new way to express ourselves. It's the new movement that is happening all over the world due to the influence of the spray cans and the new art movement that is happening.
I love how the mural came out, and most importantly, Ruben loves how it came out. And I think anytime you have an artist in anything, no matter what you're doing, whether it's brewing and making a beer, art on a wall, I think you can tell how great it really is and appreciate it by how much the creator actually enjoys it.
I just look at the lines of the space, the height of the walls and stuff like that, and then just started working it and creating something that is iconic for the corner, and I can pull people in and at the same time tell them a story.
The 2025 Champions in Action Grant, offered through Citizens Financial Group and NECN, is now accepting applications from nonprofits who are providing and advocating for mental health and well-being services to help people achieve their full potential. To this end, these organizations are encouraged to apply for the opportunity to receive $50,000 in unrestricted funds from Citizens, media coverage from NECN, and volunteer support from citizen collaborators. Applications can be accessed through Citizens' website and are due by September 13th. In order to be eligible, an organization must be Massachusetts-based, have a total operating budget between $25,000 and $5 million, be able to provide 1 to 2 volunteer projects for citizens to assist on, and most importantly, provide direct access to mental health services, provide education and advocacy around mental health, are actively working to break down barriers for the groups they serve, and/or are working to find and address the root causes of mental illness. We are trying something a little different, allowing the audience to follow Mayor Nicholson through two events, an informal meet and greet for seniors the afternoon of the 21st, and a ribbon cutting at Barkland Dog Park on the 22nd. First up at the meet and greet, seniors were treated to ice cream and a chance to ask questions of the mayor regarding a variety of issues. At an outdoor venue meant to feel more like a conversation rather than a formal meeting with the mayor. Running down to Parkland Ave to cut the ribbon on the Barkland Dog Park's new play surface and additional amenities. Made possible by a $30,000 American Rescue Plan Act grant, several furry friends were in attendance to give their stamp of approval. Trees are all the rage right now in Lynn. After securing more than $600,000 in grants, they hired the city's first ever urban forestry fellow to oversee the care, preservation, and management of trees in Lynn, in collaboration with the DPW, tree warden, and community development staff. Now, residents are being asked to fill out a survey regarding their thoughts about the formation of a tree committee. What is a tree committee, you ask? It is a, quote, local citizen-led group that works with public officials to improve the health of the urban forest, trees in the city, through advocacy, education, management, plantings, and/or maintenance activities, end quote. Several surrounding communities, including Swampscott, Linfield, and Boston, already have ones, which can be used as reference points or examples if Lynn chooses to form their own. The survey is available through lyntv.org and the City of Lynn's website. This past week, the Lynn Traffic Commission approved an ordinance prohibiting buses and large vans from parking on city streets, with the only exceptions being if they are obeying the orders of a police officer or if it's necessary to avoid conflict with other traffic. It also defines buses and vans as, quote, any motor vehicle having motor power designed and used for carrying more than 9 passengers, end quote. The ordinance was originally brought forward by Ward 1 Councilor Pete Meany, who cited complaints both he and fellow councilors have received regarding school buses causing traffic and accessibility issues. Before now, the parking of buses and commercial vehicles was prohibited between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., but no restrictions the rest of the day. This most recent ordinance will result in a $50 fine for each offense, but warnings will still be issued for about a month before fines are enforced. According to the Lynn Parking Director, the department has been receiving complaints of buses blocking driveways and making streets harder to navigate, and this ordinance gives them the resources to address the problem. On deck, the sports update. The basketball court at the Tony Conigliaro Gym will be renamed Jeff Newhall Court, with the formal ceremony occurring on December 13th. A 1994 graduate of St. Mary's, Newhall took over as athletic director in 2007 and has been coaching the girls' basketball team since 2005. With Newhall at the helm, the Spartans have won at least one state championship for 17 years straight and 23 total titles in that span. As a coach, he boasts an overall record of 349 to 194, with 5 state championships and 5 North sectional titles to boot. In 19 years, 100% of his graduating seniors have gone on to 4-year colleges, with 15% receiving full scholarships to Division I or II schools. The Red Sox remain in the fight for the final wild card, taking 2 of 3 against the division-leading Baltimore Orioles. After winning the first 2 contests, 12-10 and 5-1, the Sox seemed to lose all their offense in a 4-2 defeat. In their 12-10 victory on the 16th, 4 Red Sox homered, including Masataka Yoshida, who brought home 4 RBIs. A home run-saving catch by Jeremy Duran in the 9th gave them the win. Traveling to Houston, they dropped the first game 5-4, giving up 2 unanswered runs in the 8th and 9th innings. They bounced back, however, winning the next 2 6-5 on the 20th and 4-1 on the 21st. On the 20th, Boston scored 3 runs in 3 batters, including a homer by Tristan Casas, who recently returned from a 3-month stint on the IL. Tied 5-5 in the 9th, it was Duran who launched a ball over the left field fence for the go-ahead run. In the rubber match, the Sox took the series, limiting the Astros to only 1 run in the first. Ceddanne Rafaela hit 2 RBI doubles, David Hamilton added a solo home run, and Chris Martin struck out Trey Cabbage for the final out of the game. One large organization in the city who fuels collaboration is Lynn Main Streets. They work with small businesses and organizations to help them elevate their business and message. A consultant for Main Streets visited us on the Lowdown to share what services this organization provides and the importance of supporting local businesses within the community. Here is the Lowdown. Hello and welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Danny Vittori, and today we're here to talk about Lynn Main Streets with one of their contractors from Entre Dupe. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So would you mind just introducing yourself a little and talk a little about how you became a contractor for Lynn Main Streets?
Of course. So my name is Andrew Duperval. I'm the founder of Entre Dupe, contracted by Lynn Main Streets this year. And I used to be a board member since 2021. And just based off my experience working with other nonprofits and what I do with my company, they wanted to look for someone who can help with their programs as well as actually provide small business technical assistance. And so I applied, and luckily I got the contract, so it's been fun.
Yeah, that does sound great. And of course, the big question, what do you do?
Right. So Entre Dupe is a digital marketing agency for restaurants. But we have a sister company called Entre Dupe Productions, which is our video production company. But that allows me to provide those services to Lynn businesses for free.
Great.
And so part of what I do with Lynn Main Streets is just sit down with a few businesses, restaurants, barbershops, beauty salons, and just talk about some of their marketing plans, and then just create strategies with them, as well as any connections or resources that they may be missing that can help with their marketing and getting more online presence.
Oh, that's really cool. And how long does the contract go for? Is it a yearly contract? Or?
Yeah. So it's from January all the way up into December. So 1-year contract for this year. And hopefully we can get the funding to continue this work for more years.
So you're about halfway through it right now. What do you hope not only that you get out of it, but the organization gets out of it as well?
So what I really want to get out of it is to make sure that the Lynn businesses have a stronger online presence. You know, there's a lot going on within the city in terms of just development with properties, a lot of new people coming in to not only live, but also just be a consumer or a pedestrian to also tour the city. And so one of the things we have to make sure is that these businesses have a strong online presence to match everything that's going on in the city. And so that's my biggest goal this year with the businesses.
And Lynn Main Streets, they focus on the downtown area. Why would you say it's so important to really promote that area and make sure it is getting the recognition it deserves?
Yeah, we have a beautiful downtown area. When you look at Union Street, you can see similarities of it in other cities like New York or even Boston, just the way it's set up and organized. And you know, it has a lot of history throughout Lynn. That's always been like a very busy place for Lynn. But lately it's been having like a bad stigma. So I think it's super important to over-highlight actually the positive experiences one can have on Union Street. So that way outsiders can have a better view of it, and then support all the diverse businesses in Union Street, because I believe Union Street is probably one of the most diverse corridors in all of America. You know, I don't feel like there's too many cities that have that many diverse business owners and residents living there.
Oh, definitely. You walk down the street and you get people from everywhere, all walks of life, all countries. I mean, it's pretty cool when you get to do it.
Right.
And you yourself are a Lynner, you're from here.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like you've seen the city evolve, especially since you've started this role?
Yeah, it feels like it's full circle.
Yeah.
Because obviously I left to go to college. I went to Salem State, still lived here, but I was always there in Salem State. Then my work at another nonprofit was in Salem as well, and I was helping the Salem neighborhood. And so like for it to come back full circle to do what I was doing in Salem, but now in Lynn, and I'm walking by the same businesses that I used to walk from school from, it's like, it feels good. It feels good.
Mm-hmm. And another thing you mentioned, there were a few upcoming things. There was a video giveaway, pizza crawl. There were a few upcoming events. Do you want to talk about this?
For sure, for sure. So right now we have a special project going on in partnership with Francois Visuals, where we are going to be giving one free video to 5 small businesses. They have to have a brick and mortar location, and that's it. All they have to do is go on the Instagram post, comment what their business is, reshare it to their story, and make sure they like Lynn Main Streets page as well as Francois Visuals page. And from there, they'll be entered in a raffle type contest where we'll pick out 5 select winners and they'll get a free visual from Francois Visuals.
Wow. Can't argue with that. That seems like a pretty quick, easy way to, why not try it, right? You might get picked.
Right, you know, and he has great videos, so another way to, like I said, promote the small businesses and help them with that.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned you were a board member yourself. Another thing mentioned was Main Streets, they are actually looking for board members, volunteers. Yes. So how would the greater community get involved?
Yeah, so, and kind of going back to the pizza crawl, the pizza crawl is going to be something where we're going to have like a pizza contest to have the community decide who has the best pizza in Lynn. And so to just even spreading that news around, we're going to need people to be brand ambassadors per se, to spread that type of information, to get more engagement. But we also need volunteers to help with Spring Has Sprung, or summertime now. So Summer Has Sprung, where we've been planting flowers and floral decorations in several parts of Lynn. We just went to Lynn Commons and replanted a lot of the florals around different statues and things like that. So volunteers like that is very helpful, and volunteers also for the board, because we want more people from Lynn who've been around Lynn with different perspectives to give us some insight on how we can better help the businesses in the downtown area.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just curious, how long were you a board member for?
Since 2021.
Okay, all right, so you were established a little bit later. I guess, I mean, I've asked a bit about it already, but in this year contract, like at the end of it, when you get to December, what do you really hope you've accomplished? What do you want to walk away with it from?
Again, just having these businesses with a stronger online presence. So some of the things that I've been working on with my team is creating these audit reports. And these audit reports actually audit their Instagram, their Facebook, their Google business profile, and then we provide recommendations that they can actually implement, because unfortunately I can't do the implementation or strategize in depth with every business.
Of course, yeah.
We're trying to work with 50 by the end of the year.
Wow.
So the most I can do is at least have my team audit all of their online presence, provide recommendations that's tailored to their business, and then sit down with them 1 to 4 hours and just talk about those recommendations and a little bit of a walkthrough on how to implement those changes as well.
Yeah, and you said you want to get to 50. Do you know how many you've worked with to date?
Yeah, so far we've talked with I think it's 26 now. In terms of like working in depth one-on-one, and like they're able to give me a lot of information so I can spit back. And it's probably been around 15 or so. So a little bit under the 26 that we've been talking with. But some of the other work that we do too, we also have a promotion, a partnership going on with What Did You Eat Today, Sir? Another Lynn resident, and he's a food blogger on Instagram. And so he has about 30,000 followers, and so we've contracted him this year to produce a promotion for restaurants every month. And he's been able to bring so much sales to these restaurants, and We also have another collaboration with Official Lynn Eats on Facebook, where they're also doing a contest for a restaurant each month to also help with promotion for these restaurants. So that's also included in the 26. So some are getting technical assistance while others are getting straight promotion so that customers can already start learning and go there immediately.
Right, and you were even mentioning it too, the collaboration piece is huge.
Right.
Working with as many different organizations, as many different people as possible to get the message out.
Yeah, the issue with nonprofits is like, you know, we want to do so much, but when you're starting, you know, Lynn Main Streets started back in 2019, and so it's by a few volunteers in Lynn, and they had to get funding from CBDG and things like that. So it's very scarce how much resources we have internally. So working with these other Lynn businesses like myself, like What Did You Eat Today, Sir, Official Lynn Eats, these are all Lynn businesses, and it allows us to execute and do more because I already have a system process as a team. What Did You Eat Today already has a process. And so we're just outsourcing that, and then it allows us to do more.
Allows you to access more of the community for sure.
Right, right.
And I said, it all sounds like very, very cool what you've been doing, the access you're giving to these businesses. And I do have to wrap up in a moment, but was there anything else I hadn't mentioned that you wanted to talk about?
We talked about the pizza crawl. We talked about the video.
Which I want to do. I want to do the pizza crawl.
Right. You know, it's going to be very competitive for the pizza shops. I guess that's pretty much it. Besides checking out our website, checking out our socials, staying in touch, and you know, if anybody has any feedback or questions or anything they want to comment about businesses in Lynn or what they think about it, definitely just give us an email. We're welcome to that.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on today to really talk about that, spread that message, and that awareness.
Thank you, Danny.
Of course, thank you anytime. And you heard it here first. I'm Danny Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests. Now, the community calendar. Next up on Final Fridays is Rhythm Royale at the Frederick Douglass Park with a rain location in the Lynn Museum. Hosted by Mr. PSA and sounds by DJ Ravino, come rep your style in a 1v1 battle. Whether you're coming as a dancer to compete or a spectator, this promises to be an unforgettable night showcasing local talent. As a bonus, at the end of the night, the winner will walk away with a $500 grand prize. There will be free entry, food, and entertainment from 6 to 9 p.m. Labor Day weekend is jam-packed with events for the whole family, beginning with the annual Greek Festival, spanning the entire weekend from August 30th through September 1st. Taking over the parking lot behind the St. George Greek Orthodox Church, it is open from 5 to 10 p.m. on the 30th, noon to 11 p.m. on the 31st, and noon to 10 p.m. September 1st. Featuring Greek cuisine, pastries, boutiques, live music, and entertainment for kids, as well as a raffle with a grand prize of $25,000. Second place gets $2,000, while third gets $1,000. Tickets will be sold for $5 all weekend, with the winner polled on Sunday night. In preparation for the upcoming school year, Running United Nationwide, in collaboration with the Lynn Housing Authority and Concerned Citizens of Lynn, is hosting their third annual Back to School Community Cookout and School Supply Giveaway. From noon to 4 p.m. on the 31st, head down to the Kerwin Circle basketball court for activities, free food, and materials for the new year. Similar to previous years, there will be a three-point shootout, king of the court, free throw competitions, bouncy houses, and music. All supplies and food is on a first-come, first-served basis. That wraps up the news for this last week. As always, follow us on social media at Lynn Community Television to stay up to date on all the latest happenings in the city, as well as election updates in the coming weeks. Visit lyntv.org for staff and member content, press releases, and our complete community calendar. If videos are more your speed, go to Lynn Community Television on YouTube. for event coverage, PSAs, and member shows. I'm Danny Vittori, this is LCTV News, and we will see you next week.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Encompass Health, North Shore Community College, Leo Inc., Brotherhood Credit Union, and Daoulas Brothers Construction.